Today we're going to talk about reinforcement. Hi everybody, my name is Braden and I'm a registered behavior technician and I work with children who have autism and other developmental disabilities. In my field, reinforcement is the process of increasing the likelihood that a behavior will occur again in the future. There can be positive reinforcement and there can be negative reinforcement. So when a behavior is reinforced, it actually increases the likelihood that that behavior is going to occur again. And this goes the same for good behaviors as it does for bad behaviors. So when your child is yelling out and they're being disruptive at the dinner table, you yell at them and say, "No, stop doing that." Maybe it's possible that you have reinforced their behavior by yelling at them. So there may be another alternative you need to come to for them to act appropriately. On the other side of the token, positive behaviors can be reinforced. So when your child cleans their room, when your child does the dishes, when your child mows the lawn, reinforce them by giving them something that they really enjoy. Let them go to their friend's house. Let them, go out to the mall or play with their favorite toy. Just like reinforcement can increase the likelihood that a negative behavior will occur again in the future, it can also increase the likelihood that a positive behavior can occur again in the future. As I stated in one of my previous videos, it's so important to reinforce our kids for the good things that they're doing and to pay attention to them when they're doing them. We need to reinforce those good behaviors so we can perpetuate it and we can make those behaviors occur again and again and again and, achieve the desired results. Now, earlier I mentioned positive and negative reinforcement. So I'm gonna go ahead and break that down a little bit and explain the difference between them. Positive reinforcement occurs when a stimulus is presented to an individual after they've completed a target behavior so that you can increase the further likelihood that the behavior will occur again in the future. So for example, Timmy raises his hand in class and we want Timmy to raise his hand. We give Timmy a piece of candy for doing that and we call out on him and we answer his question as soon as he raises his hand. That's an example of reinforcing Timmy's behavior. Now, negative reinforcement is a little bit different. Negative reinforcement is still reinforcement, so it still is going to increase the likelihood that a behavior will occur again in the future, but it's a little bit different than positive reinforcement. With negative reinforcement, we remove an aversive stimuli from the situation, and that in turn increases the likelihood that the behavior will occur again in the future. So whereas in positive reinforcement, we're adding something to the situation, which increases the likelihood that the behavior occurs again. And with negative reinforcement, we're removing something aversive, something that the kid does not want to be experiencing in order to increase the likelihood that the good behavior will occur again in the future. So maybe if we have a kid who has sound sensitivity, we might remove the loud sound from the room. And that's reinforcing to him because that kid is very sensitive to sounds and they don't want to be overstimulated by them. So when we remove that sound from the environment, we're enforcing that kiddo for the behavior that they performed just prior. Maybe the kiddo has sound sensitivity and as a reward for completing a certain task, you provide them with headphones that they can put on over their ears to block out some of the sound. And that's gonna help take away that aversive element, that sound element, and that's what makes it negative reinforcement. So positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, both of these are gonna increase the likelihood that a behavior will occur again in the future. So parents, think about some behaviors that you would really like your kids to engage in and really reinforce them for those good things that they're doing so you can increase the likelihood that they'll still keep doing them again. If you like this video and you wanna see more like it, please like and follow, and I will have more videos out shortly. Thanks.